Today we're making a keto pecan pie in 5 minutes, supposedly. So one of the most popular pies in the US is the pecan pie. And honestly, it's not one of the pies that I thought that you could make really fast. I thought it was always really labor intensive, but I came across a recipe by Joe Duff, and we're gonna be leaving this recipe linked in the description below the video, below the title of the video. You'll see the word more. And if you click on that, you will expand the video description. You can get all the links having to do with us and this channel, and you could also subscribe if you're feeling generous and you want to watch more content from us. The recipe ingredients for this are pretty simple. You're gonna be needing things like almond flour, butter, brown sugar swerve, regular swerve, or confectioner swerve, which is the powdered sugar version of swerve, vanilla, pecans. This is one of the ingredients that is optional. You could use your favorite keto-friendly maple syrup substitute. We're gonna be using the one by Chalk Zero because we really like this one. This has a really great consistency, and this is the one that we've been using, I don't know, for the past 6 months or so. We'll leave this linked in the description below the video as well. So the thing about this recipe is that it is made in 5 minutes because you're gonna be cooking this in the microwave, and he does give instructions on how to cook this in the oven if you wanna do that. We're not going to be, because we're gonna be using Sarah's broken down microwave with a broken handle that we haven't gotten fixed yet. You can cook the crust in the oven at 350 until you feel like it's done, and then just pour the ingredients into the crust that's been cooked. But we want to do this in 5 minutes, which will take us like hours to do because we're filming it. So, all right, so the first step is to combine the ingredients for your crust, which is mainly almond flour. So we're gonna do that first. To make our crust in a bowl, we added in our butter, almond flour, confectioner swerve, which is the powdered version of swerve, vanilla extract, cinnamon, and salt. We are making double of this recipe because we're gonna make 2 little pies, which is 4 servings. And he uses a bowl in his recipe, but we're using these little mini pie dishes that I bought a long time ago, and I'm wanting to use them for everything now because they're so cute. We will link these in the description below. So here's our dough ball. This is the crust. We're gonna cut the dough ball in half, and we're going to start pressing the dough into the pie plate that has been oiled, and you're gonna want it to go about halfway up the side, maybe until the start of the scallop on this bowl. We're gonna spray with some avocado oil. I feel like when I use a paper towel to spread it, it takes away too much. Chop my dough ball in half. Well, I mean, in his recipe though, it kind of like goes up the sides of a bowl, which is pretty high.
Yeah, I think you want to make it pretty thin so it becomes crispy.
Perfection takes a moment.
Time killer. Don't break the pie for me.
Yeah, right. Okay, so because we're doing the 5-minute version of this, we're gonna be cooking these in the microwave for 1 minute and 30 seconds, but we're gonna do it in 30-second intervals. So you wanna check to see if it's like not burning and stuff. So you might have to watch it though, because sometimes you could be cooking something in your microwave, you don't know how strong it is.
Can you put, it's gonna start off. First 30 seconds, how's it looking?
It looks the same. All right, we'll check back after the 1 minute and 30 seconds is done.
How's she looking?
I smell something burnt.
Uh-oh. Well, there you go. That just shows that, yeah, you do need to be careful with almond flour specifically.
It started smoking, burned hole in the middle of it. We made another crust. We are actually going to test baking it in the oven as well because I cannot afford to burn a second one. I'm gonna lower the microwave power to 7, and then I'm really gonna check it every 30 seconds.
You didn't check it the last 30 seconds?
I did, I looked in it. It looked fine.
Start. I feel like that's what our channel is.
Well, I mean, no, honestly, every time we say something's gonna be easy or that it's gonna take 5 minutes, it does not. And he does mention that it might be different according to your microwave, so. I'm gonna move it off of the center. Okay. So we preheated our oven just to do the other one so that we have something that's edible at the end of this. And we preheated it to 350 degrees. We're gonna try for like 10 minutes at 350 and see what happens. Look, is that burning?
Possible.
Or is that the cinnamon? I feel like this is enough.
1 minute?
1 minute at 7 power.
This is not getting cooked anymore after this.
No. And it says we should cool it in the freezer.
We're deciding to undercook it rather than overcook it.
Well, it's not like it has to cook. There's no eggs in here. The component that we're gonna be making next is like the filling, which is separate from the pecans. So you're gonna mix together the filling, which is butter, brown sugar swerve, and the Chalk Zero maple syrup, or whatever kind of keto-friendly maple syrup. You're gonna put that into a bowl and mix that all together. It's just gonna be a liquid. You're gonna wanna mix it until the brown sugar swerve is incorporated into the butter, and it's kind of like viscous. It's like thick, kind of like you would find in a pecan pie. I did read one of the comments and it did say they thought it was too sweet, so I thought maybe add a pinch of salt into this mixture as well. So the way that we're gonna make this 5-minute keto pecan pie is that you're gonna put a layer of pecans at the bottom of the pie crust, and then we're gonna fill the middle with the filling, and then we're gonna lay more pecans on top.
What kind of pattern are you going for here?
The pattern that
your heart goes with?
Yeah, which is put them next to each other. All right, let's check on our oven baked crust. Oh, it looks nice. Kind of fluffy. Mm-hmm. All right, we're gonna put this in the freezer as well for maybe 5 minutes or so. And then we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna put pecans on the bottom, and then we're gonna put the filling, and we're gonna put pecans on top. So you might notice that this looked a little different as I was pouring it in. I decided to melt the filling a little bit to see if it would set up nicer once we put it in the fridge. So, you know, you could eat it right away. It's hot still from the oven. But we're gonna set this in the fridge for a couple minutes while we go downstairs and set everything up to try them. So this one is the one that we cooked in the microwave, and this is the one that we cooked in the oven, the crust. So we'll try a little spoonful of each just to see if it's worth it to cook it in the oven or not.
So half of this is a serving.
Right. The crust
is kind of thick on this one.
Yeah.
Smells like a pecan pie.
It tastes like a pecan pie.
Definitely. Pecan pie is kind of known for that sweetness, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, it's sweet. The crust is sweet. The filling is sweet.
I guess if you wanted to tamp down the sweetness, you could just do a more neutral crust.
Yeah.
Like less confectioner sugar in the crust.
Do you think that we should have made this thinner, the crust?
Kind of. You could make it thinner if you wanted to save on maybe calories or carbs.
And they did say that if you didn't want to use almond flour, you could use walnut flour or sunflower seed flour. But he didn't suggest using coconut flour just because of the differences in absorbency.
So this is the one where we cooked it in the oven.
We cooked it at 350 degrees for about 15 minutes.
And it kind of puffed, actually, the almond flour crust, which is interesting. The crust seems a little crumblier to me, but obviously very similar.
It's still really good.
Splitting hairs here.
Yeah.
I guess, you know, like we experienced, you have to be a little bit more mindful if you cook it in the microwave just because of how fast it will burn. Almond flour tends to do that.
Anyway, I really like this.
It's a good recipe. I think it'd be perfect for the holidays coming up. Yeah, definitely give it a try. A dollop of
Is it worth it to cook it in the oven though? I would say no. I'd say it's pretty much the same.
It's the same, but you have to be careful.
Right.
This is just slower and hence easier to monitor. But yeah, it's very good.
If you guys have any other pie recipes that you want us to try, let us know in the comment section below. Put a pie emoji. If you watch the end, we appreciate you. A pecan emoji? Is there one? Anyway, we're just giving people these things to do, and we have no idea those emojis
I want to
exist.
see your interpretation of it.
But this is only for the people who watch to the very end.
Exactly. We appreciate you guys. You know, seeing the emojis, we're like, oh, there are people watching to the end. Yay.
And YouTube seems to think that you're going to like this video, so why don't you click on it, and we'll see you over there. Anyway, I'm Emily.
And I'm Sarah.
And we are the Keto Twins signing out.
Woo!
It's rich.